Yo, what up? It's your boy Unicorn from Trap House Detail, and we finished working on this Tesla right here, and it got single step correction and IGL Kenzo, and we're finished. So I hope you like the YouTube video. I hope you enjoy it, and we're definitely gonna try to get back on it. And yeah, we gotta go. So you know what it is, Trap House Detail. I'll knock your out. I gotta go. I'm sorry. All right, and here we go. 2022 Tesla dual motor. Forgot what model it is, so please don't get mad at me, Tesla fans. But I will say that the client, he let me drive the car, and I gotta say these things are pretty fast. I myself own a 2003 Cobra, made about 700 horsepower, and I felt like this thing was about as fast or maybe a little bit faster. I'm not sure. I haven't driven my car in a while, but I mean, this thing is blazing fast. Anyways, so his interior is not that dirty. Wipe down, vacuums all it needed. The exterior, we're already starting the pre-soak process, and you guys already know, don't skip out on this process. This is where you're gonna break down a lot of the dirt and contaminants. You're gonna blow them out of the cracks and crevices, especially on a new car like this. So please don't skip out on this. Make sure you use your pre-soak, start killing the waxes and sealants that are on there. Make sure you rinse it off thoroughly, and you guys are gonna be A-okay. Sorry guys, in the last clip you can hear my dogs barking. Super sorry about that, but we're getting into the wheel cleaning for this Tesla, and it's always good to clean the wheels when you're doing a ceramic install, at least for me anyways, because I want to make sure that they get the whole package on the outside. So I don't want them to feel kind of bummed out if they come and pick up their cars with dirty wheels. Like I feel like that's kind of like a buzzkill. So, you know, I go ahead and clean those wheels up for them, clean the wheel wells, the tires, and the wheels to complete that package. All right, so now that we've done the pre-soak, we've cleaned the wheels, now we're getting into the mechanical part of the wash. And let's talk about foam cannon and if you should use thick foam or light foam or watery foam, whatever you want to call it. So when you do a pre-soak, I feel that the foam should be somewhat watery. I don't know if you guys have noticed, but it tends to break down dirt, debris, bird doo-doo a lot easier when it's kind of watery, and it just kind of carries it down the paint. And on the mechanical wash like we're doing here, I like to shoot it a little bit thicker, just to give me more suds for the mitt. I feel like that helps prevent installing any defects into the paint, such as swirls or scratches or anything like that. And now we're moving on to spraying iron remover onto the car. On this car, it's kind of hard to see because it's gray. As a matter of fact, you don't really see it at all. You can see at the bottom right here, because I spray some foam on it to keep it on there longer, but you can see it was breaking down some of that brake dust down there on the floor. So that's what it would look like if it was on a white car, but you are not really going to see it here. And then we're just going to rinse it off and keep going. So you just saw me spray the car down with a pH balanced soap. I'm spraying it down so that I can use it as a clay lube. And some people don't agree with this, but when I'm in the shade and, you know, the sun's not out, I can get away with spraying some soap on the car. If I was out, you know, sun was out or some parts of the car were exposed to sunlight, then I probably would switch it up to a clay lube. But in this case, I feel like this was okay to do. And I just pretty much did the whole car like this. I foamed it, I clayed it, front to back, the sides, everything. It made it super easy Didn't have to waste too much time, and we were pretty much ready to go after this. We're done with the pre-soak, the mechanical wash, the iron decon, the clay bar. Moving on to drying the car. Don't put a lot of pressure on the towel. I don't know if I said that in my last video, but definitely one of the big mistakes I see a lot of people doing is they put too much pressure on the towel, and that could lead to more defects. But we're polishing out the car, so if I did put pressure, it wouldn't really matter. But it's just better to keep up with the practice of not applying a lot of pressure to the towel. And we're cleaning this up, and now we're ready to reveal the paint. So I'm bringing you guys in to see the paint, and as you can see, there's definitely some defects in the paint. Looks like like someone put their finger and moved it across the paint, so it wasn't looking too good. Look at this weird guy, David from GTR High Performance. But yeah, the paint wasn't looking too good, and now we're getting ready to tape off the car. Another important thing is tape. Tape can definitely save you a lot of cleanup in the long run, so make sure you tape those edges. Even taping on like vinyls and stuff like that, it's always good to tape it up. All right, we're starting the correction process on this Tesla hood, and I chose a Lake Country orange polishing pad. And I heard stories about this Tesla paint that it's super finicky, sometimes difficult to work with, and it's true. I tried a polishing wool pad and a polishing microfiber pad, and it did not like either of those. It left behind very light holograms, and I made sure to keep the pads clean, blew them out, washed them out, and it didn't like either of that, so we stuck with the polishing pad. And check it out. I think the paint came out pretty good for the amount of defects that were on the hood. And now we're ready to move on to stripping all those polishing agents off with IGL Pre-Coat. All right, before you start the pre-coat process, super important, remove your tape. You got to take that tape off before you start pre-coating, or else you're not going to get that little buildup of polish that happens at the edge of the tape. I try to stay away from the tape, but sometimes it's kind of hard. But this car came out pretty clean, no issues with the polish residue. Just make sure you take your pre-coat, spray it onto the panel, and you're gonna end up using one towel to wipe off a majority of all those polishing agents, and then you're gonna come around with a second towel to make sure that you cleaned all of it off. And at the end of this section, I'm gonna show you what happens if you don't wipe it off correctly. So right here you can see that there is some residue left over from applying pre-coat, and this is why a second towel is pretty much necessary to make sure that you wipe all that off. You don't want to coat over that because then your coating will fail, but it's as simple as just using a second towel to level that off. To clean the jams under the hood, the doors, and the trunk, sometimes a little bit of polish will end up on the rim of the door jams or where the trunk is. Just make sure you clean that stuff off. You don't want any of the polish getting onto your ceramic applicator, because then it'll make it a bad install. So just make sure that you wipe that stuff down. How's that guy from TikTok, the Cholo guy, the guy they asked the questions? Ooh, that's Kenzo. Those are the best. The best. So this is Kenzo. It's a two-part system, base coat, top coat, and we're getting ready to prime the pad. So what I do is on the first install, on the first pass, I put more ceramic than usual. I do about 3 lines like this, and then I start applying. But after this initial priming of the pad, I only use 1 line, and you're gonna see that right now. So we're just gonna apply 1 line after I prime the pad. That's it. That's all you need. This stretches pretty far. Thought I was gonna say all right. I don't know how many times I've said that in this video, but right now what we're doing is we're leveling off the ceramic. It's been sitting on the car for about, I would say maybe 6 minutes. So right now we're taking our towel and we're leveling off the first layer of ceramic. We're gonna come in with a second towel, and that towel is gonna pick up whatever the first towel left off. I feel like this method is probably the best method to level off ceramic. It definitely reduces the chances of high spots. So keep that in mind the next time you install ceramic. Right now we're doing the top coat, and the top coat is a little different. We don't prime the pad on this. We don't prime the microfiber applicator on this one. Instead, we just do 1 line, and we work a very small section compared to what you can work with the base coat. And it's almost like an on-off application. So you're pretty much gonna do this through the whole car, and just keep a towel ready to wipe off that top coat. Well guys, we're getting towards the end of the video. I hope you liked the video. I still feel like I'm still trying to be myself on the videos, and a little bit of myself comes out every time I make a video. Anyways, thank you guys if you watched it. I really appreciate it. Thank you for watching, and we have some more stuff to work on. You know what it is, Trap House Detail. I'll keep you in my heart and in my mind. All right, I gotta go. Peace.